now, we're into phase 3, is let's start adding all of the other modes into this backing track in the key of A minor. What I mean by that is we have all of our different modes. We've got C Ionian, and then you go into the next mode, which is D Dorian. So we'll stay here. This is how I choose to look at the modes from a diatonic perspective, meaning I'm not picking a new key. D Dorian is C major. We're just scooching up the position on the guitar and or within the scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now we're at D, and then we go all the way to D. D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. But it's still the same key, so nothing really changes. However, what does change is how you are interpreting these notes and where certain tones land as you're playing. So I might not be able to do the same licks. I have to adjust for the new mode, but I'm still staying in the same key, so let's not confuse that. So let's say we start this back over again. And now we're going to play in D Dorian. There's our scale. So now we go. Again, still thinking calls and responses, right? I'm going to call something out and I'll respond. So my call might be... And now, because I've done that, I might want to... That was kind of a weird bendy thing, so I might think of going downward. Something like that. I call, respond. Then you can call and respond on the next two chords. Something like that. Whatever. Now we would go on to the next mode, which would be E Phrygian, and that's here. Something like that. Still the same key. E Phrygian is the third mode of C major. We're not changing any notes. So we can still use the same backing track, but now we're in a new position on the neck. Still really cool, and you can tell that now that we've moved up the neck a little bit, there's kind of a different tonality happening with the strings, right? Because they're getting tighter and shorter. So now you could, you could try to do the same thing down here, because if it's E Phrygian, it should work with the open strings. You're just kind of there now. Something like that, and then so you can still utilize one octave or the lower octave. Hopefully that makes sense. And both of them are going to have some form of utilization, right? So if I come down here, a cool haunting sound, which I like. And both of them are right because they're both the E Phrygian mode, just one octave lower or one octave higher. You can, I like utilizing open strings whenever possible. You can get a lot of really cool sounds with that. And that would be your E Phrygian up here and down here. Next thing in line is the F Lydian. Staying within the same key, F Lydian is this. Play it there, or you can play it at the octave. Play that with this same backing track. Really love that sound. But what you'll notice is, like, people will think, well, F Lydian is supposed to sound really like spacey and weird. It is supposed to sound spacey and weird, but only if you are playing over where F is now the root chord of the whole thing. It's the home. The C is still the home, right? Of this, or A minor, whatever. A minor or C major are the home of this. So it's still going to have that same resolution over and over again. So F Lydian doesn't have the Lydian quality that everybody associates with it, right? It doesn't have that, like, super spacey vibe, you know. It will once we make F our home, I guess is the point, which we are going to do here in a little bit. Still utilizing the call and response, still utilizing the phrasing of not just playing the scale. Sometimes that works. Sometimes that's great. You know, there's an interview I saw with Paul Gilbert where he's like, you know, he was just obsessed about playing the scales as fast as he could, you know, which is cool in some ways, but not musical. We want to stay musical in some ways, and then we can utilize that when we're trying to be more shreddy, right? It's not one or the other. It's like, how can you be a bit of everything, right? You know, if you want to play some bluesy stuff, cool, but maybe we could still play the Lydian stuff. Now I added a little of that pentatonic back in there.